What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have the election has been called with our guy, Friendly Jordies. Before we dive into the video, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, see what happened in the Aussie election.
It's finally happened. The one day where Australian politics might be at the top of your YouTube feed instead of all of the American commentators that just get this endless 10-year-long reign where they're getting PewDiePie numbers for, oh, Trump went to White Castle today. Well, today's the day that we still will be hundreds of thousands of views below that, but we are having an election in this country. May 3rd, baby! Just a few short weeks until all of our greatest dreams come true and Angus Taylor is finally treasurer.
May 3rd, well, yeah, it's just a month away.
Jesus Christ, that guy. You'd think that Dutton's biggest enemy in the election is going to be Albanese. I honestly think it's fucking Angus. Seen the shit that he said recently?
What it's going to cost Australia to build nuclear power plants.
44% less than the alternative.
Which is what?
And this is the crucial point. Around, you know those numbers, they were put out by Labor, around $600 billion.
What's your plan cost?
So 44% less. That the alternative we've put forward, which we've modelled, we've put out those costings.
So what is the cost?
44% lower cost.
Can you tell us the dollars? What's the, so people can understand what the cost is.
Well, 44% less. Labor's $600 billion in total for the system through to 2050,
so
and our 44% less
$60 billion.
than that.
That's the one policy they've got.
Like, dang, bro, can you give us the 44%? Do you know 44%? If that's 600 billion, you can't give us 44% of that, bro? You can't. My guy did the math on the spot. He said it's not difficult math. So why couldn't you give us the dollar amount?
Coming into this election, turn all of Australia into Springfield, and he doesn't know the numbers.
That's crazy.
And he's the guy that's supposed to know the numbers.
Exactly.
It's just so indicative of what's been happening to the Liberals over the last month. I really feel like once I accidentally tripped into my mirror, and yes, I did that in real life, and thank you for asking about all the cuts on my legs that I never show. But
okay.
I feel like I have gone into opposite land, which strangely makes us the rest of the world. And now that we are in just the rest of the world, we have a competent press that says, oh my God, this potato could be leading the country. And he doesn't seem to have any ideas that aren't from Gina Rinehart's Twitter feed. I mean, you know me, I've never given the press slack for anything ever, and really don't like doing so right now, but they really are sticking it to Dutton. They love the leaks, and I'm loving it too. And I'm loving that for the first time in my living memory, it seems like the Labor Party hasn't stepped a single foot wrong, and Dutton just keeps tripping over his own incompetence over and over again. You had him recently freaking out to his staffers, could you please stop leaking everything I do? That's not a good sign.
Nah.
What about when he was supposed to be in his electorate when the cyclone was about to hit? Albanese was preparing for it. He was getting money from Justin Hems. That was a Scott Morrison 2.0. I think the only reason that we forgot about it is, damn it, I really wanted to see that sexy man in board shorts. So I'm really optimistic going into this election, which, as has become the in-joke of this channel, thank you very much, guys.
Is it because he always calls every election wrong? Yeah. I feel like I don't know what Labor government is doing, what Albanese is doing, who's the favorite to win this election. I don't know Peter Dutton and his policies. But I mean, if I take it from Friendly Jordies, but he's been wrong every election. It looks like Albanese's looking like he's going to be the clear winner, and Dutton's side is suffering from leaks. They can't answer specific questions. They're struggling.
Thanks for making me the butt of it, but I'm never right, so that probably means that the Liberals will win in a landslide. However, let me tell you why I really don't want that to happen, especially this time. Yeah, I mean, even this move, right? What a stroke of genius. Albo waits for the budget reply. This is Dutton's big moment to tell everybody why this budget that was so positively received, I can't even remember anything like that. He is supposed to sit there and explain to the country why that sucks, why it's terrible, try and sell everybody on his grand vision of Australia, which is slightly cheaper petrol before it gets gobbled up in the ever-expanding melee of greed from OPEC. And in that moment, Albo starts leaking to the press that tomorrow he's going to call the election. So all the headlines are like this for the budget reply. Dutton gives opposition's budget reply ahead of May 3rd election. Sucked out all the oxygen and may I just say, sucked in. They have just been running a really competent pre-election campaign. Let's hope they can keep that up for the next few weeks.
Well,
and the Liberals are just, it reminds me of the 80s. Just a clown show. It's over and over them being asked very basic questions like, can you explain a single policy of yours to me? That it's nuclear power. So anyway, here's what I'm hoping will happen. You're already...
y'all talk to me in the comment section. Do y'all agree with Friendly Jordies' take that Labor hasn't stepped wrong and is running a very great campaign, is looking like the clear winner, and that Liberal and Peter Dutton are just looking bad and they're just taking wrong steps in every direction? They don't have policies. Is that the situation to you, or do you see it differently?
Seeing it play out. First off, you just got to understand that Albanese does have a very good read on the electorate. He understands us as a people, which is that most of us don't know his name. In fact, I was talking to someone who watches this channel frequently, and I said, they're going to call an election soon. And her response was, and I quote, state or federal? That's the average Australian. See, you, because you're very, very intelligent. Have you pressed like yet? You understand what the HAF is. You understand what Future Made in Australia is. Who am I kidding? 20% of you understand what Future Made in Australia is. The average Australian doesn't know, but they're only going to start paying attention as soon as they start seeing the words election at the gas station while they're filling up for the Bowser. So the whole time when everybody's looking at the polling and saying, oh my God, it's neck and neck, I honestly think that that's because when you ask people on the phone who you're going to vote for next election, they say the only politician that they know, so they sound remotely informed. They don't want to sound like they're not paying attention.
Bro,
also, I'd be pretty blind.
I have no disrespect to Dutton, bro, but like, did anything happen to his eyebrows, or like, did they just not really like grow? Is there something wrong? Like, cause I see every time they put him up, I'm sitting here wondering, like, bro, I can barely see his eyebrows.
Blindsided as well. I pay attention to this all the time, and if someone rang me up and said, who do you want to win the next election? I'd be like, John Curtin. Therefore, remembering that we are an extremely whiny, negative population, as always, you got to go with the classic. If the Liberals get in, the sun will not rise tomorrow. You got to do a bunch of that, but I think the ways that you do it in this election is, seriously, I think that this is purely because of Elon Musk. You have the opportunity to just keep dragging out that photo of Dutton and Gina Reinhardt on a plane. Hi, I'm kind of glad that Albo has the Prime Minister's plane. This one's better. You just keep linking that. You just keep linking the fact that Dutton is clearly just a complete and utter yes man to Gina Reinhardt. We have our own Trump and Elon Musk, but it's way less impressive and way less charismatic, especially in Elon Musk's case. What a dynamo. So cool with his glasses.
I am become meme.
Check out Monday's video for that, but God, that would be a good campaign. You have so much material to work with. Trump is doing all the heavy lifting for you. In fact, we'll give you some right now. Isn't it incredible that in Dutton's budget reply speech, pretty much the highlight is, cut the fuel excise. I wonder where he got that idea.
We want to hear that the federal government...
We know exactly where he got that idea. Exactly. Next thing you're going to say, you're going to cut grocery prices. Day one.
...will drop its excise tax on fuel, not just lowering costs for our cars and other vehicles, but lowering the cost of all transported goods and all goods that require fuel for their processing or manufacture.
Yeah. You combine that with the fact that Dutton pulled a Scott Morrison, wasn't at his electorate when a natural disaster was hitting. Instead, he was sucking up to yet another billionaire. I honestly think that the oligarchy is coming to get you narrative is back in vogue again. To paraphrase Fergie, it was 2008 and now we're in 2008. Bring it back. In terms of positivity, I'm sorry, I know that you're probably sick of me talking about it, but future made in Australia, that is something that everyone can get around. Up until a couple of years ago, you'd have Pauline Hanson out there railing day after day. Nothing in Australia's made anymore. Nothing, Pauline? I think we found out on this channel through many a trial and error that Saxby's is still made in Australia. And that doesn't make me proud at all. But everybody can get behind the idea of manufacturing back in Australia, high-paying manufacturing jobs. And how good is this? Manufacturing jobs aimed at decarbonising the planet, making us a good Saudi Arabia. That's future made in Australia. No one else is visionary enough to bring that about. If they get another term, they can at least start implanting that into Australia, so it's going to be too impossible to wind back. We saw it in the mining video. Dutton was smart enough to realise, oh my God, I do need to win this election. Otherwise, shock horror, Australia will be more unionised.
Oh my God, I do need to win this election. It is important.
Oh, perish the thought, Liberal Party. That'd be awful for you. So, if Albo can get in just this one more time, I'm going to say something that I bet you've never heard any political pundit has ever said ever before. This is the most important election of your lifetime.
Days.
And as such,
every single election, every single time you hear this is the most important. Every single freaking election.
I think that you should probably get some merchandise to commemorate this extremely memorable moment of your life that definitely hasn't been done before and definitely hasn't been parodied better even in our own country. I mean, make Albo go away. It rhymes and everything. Look, we brainstormed it a long time, but we got to get behind the MAGA hat train. We got to get some of that sweet, sweet merch. Check this out. Let me know in the comments if you've got something better, and we won't do anything about it because this is what we're going with. Make Dutton opposition leader again. Bam! We spent all night thinking about that.
Huh? That can't be it. Because it don't got a ring to it.
And that was the best that we had. But I actually like it. It grows on you, don't you think? It's kind of funny. It's that kind of funny where you could put that on someone's hat as they're handing out how to vote cards on the day, and old women would walk past and be like, yes, I'm voting for him, but yes, I can have a chuckle. Anyway, we got a bunch of big videos coming out. I'm going to Launceston, Katoomba, Sydney, and Melbourne, so get your tickets there. I am getting a bunch of messages of people telling me, can you please tell me how to articulate the Labor case to other people? I thought that's what I was doing this whole time, but we'll try again. We'll make it simple for the simpleton, so you got it in your teeny little heads. All the great things that Labor has been doing over the last 3 years, and yes, they have been quiet achievers, but they have been quietly achieving, and it has reached a crescendo. The changes that the Labor government has done in one term have turned this country around, are big, are visionary, are moving us to a brighter future. And I get that we went through some rough years with cost of living, but show me a country on earth that did it better than Australia. You'd really just be looking at a tiny, tiny little thimble of them. We did it pretty damn good, and it would have been brutal under the Liberals. I don't know why I'm selling why you should be watching this channel in the future, as it's some sort of homework that you don't have to do, but I am, and it would be great if you went out and did that, because, as I'm always saying, Labor wins when people discuss their policies at the kitchen table.
There you go.
That's how they get through. As a result, we will be arming you with facts and logic. Abosh!
So, absolutely enjoyed that. Love watching Friendly Jordies videos, man. Always comes through. That's all we got, though. If you guys enjoyed, please don't forget to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. Check out the next. See y'all next time.